Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Rajananandana Yashodanandana Rajananandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Rama Punya Vihare Jaya Radha Punya Vihare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की, जय गुरु श्री प्रभुपाद की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्राय स्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3. Text 15. Chapter name: Krishna is the source of all incarnation. रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चाक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया अपाद्वैवस्वतां मनुम्। रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चाक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया अपादवैवस्वतां मनुम्। रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चाक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया अपादवैवस्वतं मनुम्। Notice can recite. रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चाक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया अपाद्वैवस्वतं मनुम्। रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चाक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया अपाद्वैवस्वतं मनुम्। रूपं सजगृहे मात्स्यम् चक्षुषोदधि संप्लवे नाव्यारोप्य महिमया apadvaivashvatam manu. Word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Bhagavad Charanarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Rupam form, Saha he, Jagrihe accepted, Matsyam of a fish, Chakshusa, Udadhi water, Samplave inundation, Navi on the boat, Aropya keeping on, Mahi the earth, Mayam drowning, Apat protected, Vaivasvata, Manu the father of man. When there was a complete inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu, and the whole world was deep within water, the Lord accepted the form of a fish and protected Vaivasvata Manu, keeping him up on a boat. Purport. According to Sripad Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on the Bhagavatam, there is not always a devastation after the change of every Manu, and yet this inundation after the period of Chakshusha Manu took place in order to show some wonders to Satyavrata. But Srila Jiva Goswami has given definite proofs from authoritative scriptures like Vishnu Dharmottara, Markandeya Puran, Harivamsa, etc., that there is always a devastation after the end of each and every Manu. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also supported Srila Jiva Goswami, and he, Sri Chakravarti, has also quoted from Bhagavatamrita about this inundation after each Manu. Apart from this, the Lord, in order to show special favor to Satyavrata, a devotee of the Lord, in this particular period incarnated himself. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakhanvitamscha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratase Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vilachal Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I can speak, although not qualified, on this topic for my purification and the service given. Hare Krishna. So this verse is telling about the Matsya avatar of Lord in this series of Krishna's many incarnation, and we are very close to that verse which will finally say that Krishna is the sum and substance. Ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So I was reading 8th canto, last chapter about Matsya avatar incarnation, and also this verse. Very interesting things are written about Matsya avatar incarnation. So as in the purport, we find that Prabhupada is highlighting the different opinions of acharyas on whether every Manvantar ends with devastation or not. So Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, they are quoting scriptures to say that after every Manvantar there is devastation. And Sripad Siddhar Swami is telling that it is not that after every Manvantar there is devastation, but in either case, what we learn is that great devotees, great acharyas, when they are having discussions based on their knowledge and experience, they are talking about histories beyond yugas. Unlike materialistic people who use their knowledge and experience to speculate, or our acharyas are not speculating. Materialistic people, they sit and do their gathering and do uh, talks about the history which is related to past few centuries max to max, and then they are wasting time. But here acharyas are talking about in which Manu, which Manvantar what happened, and they are discussing from various Puranas. So this is Vedic culture, and how our parampara is teaching the standard of discussion should be that when devotees come together, this kind of discussion should happen about incarnations of Lord and the Manvantaras as they are found in the Puranas, scriptures. That means, first of all, devotees should have the nice sadhana also, and then when they come together, like in one of the verses of Bhagavad Gita, when we read this verse, Bahunam Janmanam Ante or Manushyanam Sahasresu, when we read that verse, it appears that those who choose to become devotee, in the path in which they are walking as if they are alone in that path. But when you read that verse, Matchitta Madgata Prana Bodhanta Parasparam Kathantascha Mamnityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. When we read that, we realize, oh, in that path there are other devotees also, and then they can come together in the path, and then they can discuss what they have. Someone may tell about Matsya Avatar, someone may tell about Kapil Muni, someone may tell about Dattatreya, Narad Muni, Vara Avatar, and in this way, a beautiful discussion can happen amongst devotees. The Srimad Bhagavatam is giving us the platform where we can choose so many wonderful topics to discuss among ourselves. So, Matsya incarnation is a wonderful incarnation. Even in Geet Govinda, the Dasavatar Stotra, Jaydev Goswami, he writes, and very this popular, Pralaya Payodhi Jale, Dhritavan Asivedam, Vahitra Charitam, Akhedam, Keshavadhrita, Meena Sharira, Jaya Jagadisha Hari. It says, O Keshava, O Lord of Universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. So, just like Varaha Avatar discussion when it was there in Bhagavatam, while telling about Varaha Avatar, two different avatars pastimes come one after another. So first it says that when Brahmaji wanted Swambhuva Manu to do creation, Swambhuva Manu asked where to do the creation, because earth is submerged. So that time Varahadev came and lifted it. And then the discussion goes that after lifting the earth from Rasatal, he killed Hiranyaksha. But that happened in Chakshusa Manvanta, which is much later from Swambhuva. In the same way, Matsya Avatar also has two incarnations. And Prabhupada writes this in 8th canto, last chapter. Very nicely explains that in the end of Swambhuva Manu's Manvantar also, sorry, not end, beginning of Swambhuva Manu, that time a demon called Hayagriva stole Vedas from Brahmaji, and to rescue the Vedas and kill the demon, Lord took this incarnation, and in the form of giant fish incarnation, he rescued all the Vedas and gave it back to Brahmaji. So this was one time he came, and then again at the end of Chakshusa Manvantar, to give a special mercy to a great devotee. His name was Satyavrata, Raja Satyavrata. King Satyavrata was doing tapasya beside a river called Kritamala. Kritamala Nadi ke paas he was doing tapasya, and he was doing a special austerity that I will only drink water from the river, a few palm full of water, that's all. So that day when he went to the river, took some water in the palm, he suddenly started hearing a voice, save me, I am in danger, save me, I take your shelter. And he is searching out the source of this sound, and he then finds that a fish is moving around him, and it is requesting him, please protect me, there are many dangerous creatures here. So the king became very pleased, and more than to protect, he was feeling very happy to give the protection. Means the fish is feeling protected, but the king is feeling happy to render the service of protection, because he is king, and king have a tendency to, like Bharat Maharaj protected the deer. So he protected the fish, put it in a pot of water in his ashram, and then in the morning when he woke up, the fish is telling, O king, I'm feeling very uncomfortable. The room size has become small. Feeling congested, need more ventilation, so need more space, not able to move around. The king is shocked, because in one night, 12 hours, the fish become almost equal to the size of the pot in which it was put. And the king becomes shocked, and he said, okay, fine, I will send you to a bigger location, bigger room, I will give you a bigger room. And then king takes the fish and puts the fish in a well. Now, again after next day, again he gets a sound, O king, please help me, feeling congested, this room is very small. And then king again goes there and finds that this small fish has become so big that the measure is given, Tri hastatraya, the 3 hands long, the fish has grown up. So the king was shocked. Again, king lifted the fish. I was thinking how he lifted it. It is three hand. He was no ordinary person. He was king. He had that power. So he lifted or Matsya Avatar gave the power. He lifted the fish from the well, which is now 3 hands long, and then he puts the Matsya in a lake which was very big. And again, after one day, the fish is telling, King, look at me. You can see very well, the lake has become very small in size. Please, help me out. Then the king is understanding what project he took. He started with small, now it is expanding beyond his imagination. So this is Krishna. When he wants to give service, he may inspire us to begin with small, but if we are sincere, he will expand. In one of the lecture, my spiritual master was telling, do you think that preaching can not happen? How much it will take for Krishna to send the whole world to you? So we should never feel disappointed. You should focus on your sincere attempt to preach. Basically, Krishna is preparing us, and Why he is preparing us? Because the people will take shelter of these centers of Srila Prabhupada, because the world is going in a very dangerous direction. So, if now the entire world comes to take your shelter, will you be able to give shelter? Definitely not, because you are not ready. So, don't cry that you are not getting people. You just do your best, prepare sincerely. Krishna will send time, and again the people who you can take care. Otherwise, if people come beyond your capacity, then also it will become difficult for you to handle. So Krishna sees the sincerity and sense. So preaching ultimately is done by Krishna. We just become the instrument, and that is our success, whether we agree to become the instrument or not. So this way, when Krishna is expanding, Matsya avatar is expanding, Satyavrata, King Satyavrata is bewildered. What is going on here? Now, again, I don't know how he did. It is written, he picked up the fish and threw him in the ocean. How he did, I don't know, because a lake is that size big, he must have had many helping hands or what, or probably the lake was connected to some ocean. So he somehow took the fish to the ocean. And again, after a day, the fish is telling, "Oh king, look at the size of the ocean. This room is falling short." Now king is totally surrendered. Who are you? Please tell me, who are you? You cannot be ordinary personality. Your eyes are like lotus petals, and the kind of effulgence that you are having, it is not ordinary. No, you must be the supreme personality of Godhead who has incarnated in this form of fish. So this fish then started revealing its true form, that yes, I came here to bless you. I was very happy with your devotional service. And then the fish says that after 3 days there will be pralay, a temporary pralay, and in that pralay everything will be flooded. So you must collect all the seeds of various herbs, and the sages also should come with you. So a boat will come after 3 days in the same water of inundation. You get upon that boat along with the sages and the seeds, and then I will also appear in a golden form. And to balance the boat and to move the boat towards proper direction, you have to tie. I will send Vasuki, so that Vasuki will connect the boat with my horn. So this Matsya avatar has a horn, a sing है इनका बड़ा सा, and Matsya avatar is golden and very effulgent. It has very beautiful lotus eyes, and it was written that the size of the Matsya avatar was 8 million miles. 8 million miles. That means 80 lakhs miles. है ना? 80 lakh miles. मतलब 12 किलोमीटर, 12 लाख किलोमीटर, 12 lakh kilometer. So that was the size of Matsya avatar. It's huge. And Vasuki is there. Vasuki also is very big. So that means the boat must have also been very giant. So when this instruction was given, Raja Satyavrat was completely convinced about it, and Matsya avatar left that place, vanished from there. And then he sat on meditation, and he was preparing for the third day to come. And as soon as the third day came, there were giant clouds, very deep, dark clouds, and they started pouring big pillar type rains, and immediately the whole earth was submerged in water from all directions. And then he saw a big giant boat was coming, and he found that sages, the Saptarishis, are also there in the boat. He boarded the boat, and after some time, the Matsya incarnation came, Vasuki came, and as the Lord was telling, all these things happened. Matsya avatar was guiding the boat to in the water of inundation. It was floating. It was written that in 8th canto, in that during that journey, Satyavrata Muni and the sages, they were offering beautiful prayers to Matsya avatar. And in the course of prayers, the entire area around them was dark. The only thing that gave light was the light coming from the bodies of the rishis. The sages were so effulgent that their effulgence was creating light. And in that environment. You can imagine there is ocean all around, the light is coming from the people around us, and Satyavrat Muni is offering prayers. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are beyond the three modes of material nature. Foolish people worship the devatas, but intelligent devotees take your shelter, because only you can give protection. No devatas came to protect me, but you have come to protect me. This is your mercy. Only you can give offer liberation. And the only reason we are averse to you, averse to your service, is because our heart is covered by lust. And this lust is creating a gap between you and your service and ourselves. Please destroy this covering of lust and guide us towards our true goal of life. Beautiful prayers Satyavrat Muni offers. And after the prayers are offered, then Matsya Avatar reveals Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashit or 15.15 Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sannivishto. Matsya Avatar is so huge, it may not be possible to directly come in front of the mouth and then see Matsya Avatar speaking. But they are in the backside of Matsya Avatar. So in their heart, Matsya Avatar spoke. And there Matsya Avatar gave beautiful spiritual knowledge. And I discovered that this Satyavrat Muni basically became in the next Manvanta, that is our Manvanta, Vaivashvat Manu, the son of Sun God. Sun is Vivaswan and his son is Vaivashvat. And he became the Manu, got the post of Manu. And therefore, when Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita that I spoke this knowledge to the Sun God, and Sun God spoke this to his son Vaivashvat Manu, and down the line it got lost. So actually, this much in the form of Matsya Avatar, he had given this knowledge to Vaivasvat Manu, and in that line the knowledge was coming. So this was a very wonderful thing that I came to know, because I was thinking that how Krishna must have given knowledge to Vaivasvat Manu or Sun God, Vaivasvan or Vaivasvat Manu. So this connects that statement of Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam, this pastime of Matsya incarnation. So in this way, how very beautifully the scriptures are interconnected. So I was wondering how Krishna makes in the 8th canto summary of that chapter of Matsya incarnation. Prabhupada writes that this fish is a very abominable creature. One devotee was telling me, those who do fish farming, there are fish which are there in the ocean, they are one category, but those who do fish farming, these fish are basically eating anything and everything. Very horrible things they are given to it. In fact, he was telling that the waste products from all the hospitals, even the dead bodies, mortgage, they are collected, put in some container, and in most of the fish farm, wherever there is fish pond, above the fish pond they also put this मुर्गी क्या कहते हैं, hen they do hen farming. और तो वहाँ पर जो hen खाने के बाद अपना they pass their waste, that becomes the food for this fish, and like that they dump this drums of rotting bodies from different animals and hospitals of humans and all animals. They are also fed, and they said such fish become very healthy. Can you imagine when these people therefore are eating fish? Actually, they are eating everything. They are eating all garbage of the whole 8.4 million species. They are getting concentrated, becoming food for the fish, and that fish is eaten by the educated, intelligent, so-called human beings, just for the sake of giving satisfaction to the tongue. So this is very horrible. But the point to be noted is that a pig is also no different. A pig is also such an abominable creature. But Krishna is so amazing that just to show that these things are insignificant, but when there is difficulties, you have to take shelter of even such a creature. And then Krishna comes as Varaha Avatar or Krishna comes as Matsya Avatar. So Prabhupada explains that he although takes such a form of a creature who materially is considered very abominable, but when Krishna takes that form, that creature is transcendental, that is divine, fully spiritual. The living entities who may ordinarily hate or be averse to such kind of creature, they offer wonderful prayers and surrender to these divine forms of the Lord. So this is Krishna. When Brihad Bhagavatam Amrit class was given, played, the lectures were played here very beautifully. Guru Maharaj was explaining the journey of Narad Muni from one devotee to another. He is approaching Indra, he is approaching Prahlad Maharaj, he is approaching Hanumanji, he is approaching, finally he goes to Dwarka to meeting Uddhav. Because every devotee is telling how he is not the greatest devotee, the other devotee is the greatest devotee. And finally he ends up in Dwarka where he wanted to meet Uddhav to glorify Uddhav. But there he sees the sight that Uddhav is standing with few more devotees of Lord, even Devaki, Vasudev, they were also gathered outside the room of Krishna. Because Krishna has not woken up, he was like unconscious. And in his unconscious state, he was calling the names of gopis and gopas and remembering Vrindavan. So when Narad Muni saw that incident, he was thinking that, my Lord, I thought Uddhav is the greatest devotee, but even Uddhav is telling that gopis, the Vrindavan Vrajavasi gopis are the greatest devotees, so much so that Lord is unconscious and calling their names. And this, when Narad Muni is sharing or thinking, Rukmini Mata and Satyabhama Mataji was there, queens of Krishna, they were telling, Rukmini Devi was telling that Krishna hardly remembers us. In the night, he suddenly chants these names. Then Satyabhama says, what to talk of night? Even the daytime he remembers them. So we as if do not exist only in his heart. And all these discussions were going on. Suddenly Krishna comes out again. And there is some conversation that goes on there. And again he goes unconscious. There are many details of the past time. Brahmaji comes and Brahmaji instructs, see, Krishna has gone unconscious. Now if he wakes up, he may leave. So what we do, let us create an imitation Vrindavan. So Brahmaji creates imitation Vrindavan and tells everybody to be silent, and he puts many murtis who were like Yashoda holding butter in her hand and Nanda Baba, and Krishna was dressed like a Gop Sakha, and only Balram was allowed in that environment to speak, because Balram knew how to deal with Vrajavasi Krishna, nobody else. So when Krishna opens his eyes in that place of Brahma's created Vrindavan, he sees that there is Mother Yashoda having butter in her hand, and Krishna says, Maya, I will eat later, and he snatches the butter from Yashoda's hand and he goes away with Balram. Balram, not Balram, thou bhaiya, let's move, we will play. And then Krishna spends the time there, and then after long hours, Krishna feels something odd and he looks towards Balram. Then Balram just says everything, that what all things were happening when he went unconscious. Because Krishna was telling Balram, I got a very strange dream that I went to Mathura, I got married also. Now he already is married. He has Rukmini and Satyabhama, so many queens. But he is in so much deep in Vrindavan mood. He is telling Balram that I felt like I got married and I rescued my mother and father Devaki and Vasudev from Kamsa. So I think this will happen in future. And that time Balramji laughs and Brahmaji also, Balramji laughs and Brahmaji appears. And then Krishna understands this was a big arrangement just to save me from not leaving Dwarka and running to Vrindavan. Then he comes back. So this I heard in that lecture. I was thinking that how Krishna is missing Vrindavan Vasis, and we are expected to attract Krishna, the fallen conditioned souls, through our devotional service. How much Krishna is in Mayapur Dham when we go, I heard from seniors, Radha Madhav is too busy to directly, very openly reciprocate. He may reciprocate with great devotees. Nursing Dev is more reciprocating. He reciprocates very quickly, easily. Radha Madhav is himself very busy in his Madhurya pastimes. So when Brihad Bhagavatamrit pastime is there, when we read that, we find that actually how much Krishna is absorbed in the thoughts of Vrajavasis. So what it will take us to attract Krishna, it is none other than the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prabhupada, how Krishna will not bother. But when we read these pastimes of Matsya Avatar, Varaha Avatar, my perception changes. That it is not that Krishna is not bothering for us. Otherwise, why he comes in different incarnations? He comes as Varaha Avatar, he comes as Matsya Avatar, just to reciprocate us, just to attract the living entities through his various pastimes, somehow or other, towards himself, giving them the opportunity. So Krishna is not has not forgotten. He is all merciful. Therefore Pranam mantra is valid. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpata. He is ocean of Karuna, and he also has the ability to give the Karuna. Therefore, he is Jagat Pate. He is not a Bhikari who has Karuna. He is Jagat Pate who has Karuna, and that he does justifies fully in the form of so many forms that he appears in our life, in the form of sound vibration, in the form of prasad, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of devotee association, in the form of different incarnations. And in fact, Krishna goes on to explain to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita that I am the essence of everything. Yad yad vibhuti mat sattvam srimat urjitam evava. Whatever best you find in anything, basically I am that. So, what scope is there for us to say that Krishna is not thinking about us or he has forgotten us? Actually, he is reminding us how we are forgetting him. When we say this, basically we are revealing how we are forgetting Krishna through our material desires or material consciousness. In class 11, 12, when I was there, we were reading this electrostatic, and in 12th class and in 11th class there was this Newton's laws of motion. So there were few terms like a body which has a mass m. So the mass interacts with gravitational field, and the same body which has mass m, if it has some charge, it will interact with the electromagnetic field. So mass feels the force of gravitation, and the charge feels the force of electromagnetic field. It will experience some force. So a particular feature will interact with a particular type of attractive force, or a force, repulsive or attractive force. Similarly, I was thinking that how these things are existing. A body is falling, there is an invisible force. So I was asking questions in the internet to find out how scientists have discovered the cause of all these forces. They are discovering the force, but the cause of force, when I dig deeper, finally it fails. It says after this there is no answer that what exactly is causing the force. There is only some hypothesis. And from here, only philosophical answers are possible. Scientific answers end here. So those who deny philosophical answers say that it is not scientific. They are actually using science to hijack the reality and fitting it their atheistic views. But actually, it is not like that. Knowledge gets complete when science and philosophy both become combined together. And our philosophy is that it is Krishna is making all these things happen. So I was thinking that just like there is force of gravitation, there is force of electricity or electrostatic, so it is magnetic force. In the same way, there is the force of Maya. There is force of Krishna. Attraction towards Krishna and attraction towards Maya. These are also attraction. And depending on one's consciousness, these forces are acting. Just like after the Mayapur Yatra, one video recording was there in my phone. I was showing to the kids yesterday evening, and there were some seniors, some kids, and these kids, they have just recently learned to play mridanga. So even the smallest kid there, Gopinath, the little baby of our cook, when he saw the video, he is interacting with that video by telling that I also went to Mayapur. So this video is giving him the information that Mayapur is a place, and he is getting reminded, oh, I went to Mayapur. Then the small kids were there, they were telling, who is playing Mridanga? Silajit Prabhu is singing, who is playing Mridanga? Because he himself knows little bit about Mridanga, so he is in that entire video only interested to find who is playing Mridanga. So in this way, every devotee were interested in their It's just like Krishna when he entered Mathura. The same Krishna, everybody was reciprocating differently. Someone was seeing Krishna as death. Someone was seeing Krishna as their son. Someone was seeing Krishna as their object of love. Someone was seeing Krishna as the most beautiful. Cupid himself has come. And someone is seeing Krishna as time. And the wrestlers were seeing Krishna as very powerful wrestler, competitor who are coming to challenge him. The person is same, but depending on their different consciousness, different types of attractions are taking place. So, unless a certain level of charge is there in a body, it cannot experience a certain electrostatic force. A mass is there, it will not experience a certain gravitational force. Similarly, unless there is a certain level of purity, one cannot experience attraction for Krishna. And therefore, to develop that purity or attraction, Krishna comes just to give the opportunity to render some service. In this pastime of Matsya avatar also, first he did not reveal himself. पहले सेवा करना होगा. So he, although is himself the protector of entire creation, he is telling Satyavrat Muni, dear king, I am in danger from the fish or other aquatics. Please protect me. So he doesn't need protection, but we need service. Therefore, in the garb of seeking protection, Matsya avatar is basically helping Satyavrat Muni to render some service. And after that, more service. And after that, more and more service. And then Satyavrat Muni, when he comes in knowledge, so through devotional service, knowledge comes. Like there are some Puranic stories how Bhakti Devi has these two children, Gyan and Vairagya, and it is not that through Gyan and Vairagya Kaliyug people will make any advancement. Only through Bhakti people will make advancement, and Bhakti will only create Gyan, necessary Gyan and Vairagya. So basically, Bhakti means what? Service, devotional service. So Satyavrat Muni gave that devotional, Matsya avatar gave that opportunity, do devotional service. And at the end of third or 2-3 days, the knowledge arise in his heart. You are the Supreme Personality, and he started offering wonderful prayers. So in this way, he, whenever appears in this world, he gives an opportunity so that through that, because without some service, one cannot begin only. If someone who has not played Mridanga in that video where devotees are going in a yatra and someone is playing Mridanga, he will have no attraction towards the person playing Mridanga in the video. Because he has played Mridanga, he has that attraction. So Krishna gives volumes of opportunity to somehow or other connect with him. Some kid, two boys come here every evening in our temple. I asked him, how did you get inspired to come here? He said, Jagannath. I said, what? It's amazing. He got directly inspired by Jagannath. He says, actually in my home I have small deities. I come here to see the pagadi design. And when I see the design, I try to copy the design in my home. So Krishna is establishing interactions through devotional service, and he doesn't know the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't know those slokas. But surely if he is rendering service like that, he will get connected, he will read Bhagavad Gita. So Bhakti will guide him towards the path of knowledge. Automatically the knowledge will arise in heart. One doesn't have to endeavor separately. So this is the beautiful. In Prakashanand Saraswati's case, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have gone and directly defeated him. But he sat on that area where devotees were opening their shoes. And just why was that done? Just to give Prakashanand Saraswati an opportunity to render service. He lifted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why are you sitting there? This is not the place for a sannyasi to sit. And of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was increasing his effulgence because he was attracted to Brahman realization. So anything that was effulgent, he was attracted. So Mahaprabhu increased his effulgence. So this Prakashanand Saraswati took his hand, and that was the service that he rendered. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya stopped everyone. Hey, don't disturb him. I will take him personally to my home. I will take care of him. He gave service. So service, and then the discussion of philosophy happens. Both the cases. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya also, Prakashanand Saraswati Thakur also. So in various ways we find that Krishna, when he gives mercy to these Pandavas when they were in danger from Durvasa Muni, Duryodhan, such a naughty person, he pleased Durvasa Muni, and when Durvasa Muni asked for a boon, envious people, they cannot even handle boons. Duryodhan says, give me the boon, I don't need any boon. If you want to bless me, just do me one favor, give the opportunity of rendering service to you, also to my 5 brothers who are in the forest now. And Durvasa Muni says, Tathastu. And with his 60,000, or I think 60,000, with so many of his disciples, he goes in the forest. And we all know that they have this Akshay Patra. After the rule of Akshay Patra was that after all the brothers have eaten, at last Draupadi will eat, and then for that day Akshay Patra will not produce any more grains, any more food it will not produce. Rasamani comes after that lunch was over. Draupadi had taken her meal, and then time Yudhishthir Maharaj is worried. So Durasa Muni says, I am coming from a bath, I will take a bath, I will get fresh. So Yudhishthir Maharaj also says, yes, please go take bath, and we are preparing bhoga for all of you. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj is bewildered, all the brothers are bewildered. And Draupadi again, she knows these powerful husbands of mine, they are helpless again. Let me call my only shelter, Mukunda Madhava. So Krishna appears there. And Krishna teases, you are worried about feeding Durvasa, first worry about feeding me. Give me something to eat. And they said, nothing is there. Krishna says, there should be something. So we should not lose hope. Krishna is there telling there is something to be done still. In the worst case also you can do some service. And he says, what is there? See something is there or not in the pot. And there was probably one grain or of rice or something. And Draupadi said, this only one grain of rice is there, what will you do with this? He said, that is enough for me. Krishna takes that grain, honors the grain, and then he says, I am satisfied. Yasmin tushte, jagat tushto. The moment Krishna was, I was meditating on this aspect, how is it possible? How do we explain someone or convince, or first of all, convince myself 100% that just by serving Krishna, everybody is convinced, everybody is satisfied. So this is possible because only he is the supreme Kshetragya. In 15th chapter also and 13th chapter also, Krishna says that among the living entities, living entities are also called Kshetragya, who have a Kshetra, the body, or the field of their action. And he is a Kshetragya. And then he says there is one more Kshetragya who has the knowledge of all the Kshetras. Means he is a supreme Kshetragya. That is, I am that person. And also 15th chapter he says there are two types of person, in which one is knower of everybody else. So I am that person. So if he is that person who knows everyone, and if we please him, then he knows how to take care of other living entities. We don't have to separately bother. So that means it is not, if we say this is statement that if now I am serving Krishna in this part of the earth, in the diametrically opposite part of the earth, they are also getting some benefit of the service that I am giving to Krishna. It is not a wrong statement because Yasmin Tushta Jagat Tushta. Krishna is satisfied, everybody is getting help from that there is a cosmic harmony. Isopanishad is telling that just understand this Isavasyam principle. Isavasyam. So, Isavasyam idam sarvam yatkinchit jagatyam jagat. Tena tektena hunjita magida kasyasit dhanam. That Isa avasyam idam sarvam. Everything that exists is avasyam of, it is Krishna, under the Isa, Master, Supreme Personality of Godhead, under his honor, it is under his jurisdiction. And therefore, never consider things to be your object of exploitation or enjoyment. Use only your quota as sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and never encroach into others' adhikar, others' property. And then the second sloka says that if someone who lives like that, he should be living forever, no problem, hundreds of years he can live. But if someone is not living like that, he has no alternative than hell. There is no alternative of work than this. That means basically in those first three verses of Srimad Isopanishad, harmony with nature is spoken, and the essence of that harmony, how I can be a part of this entire cosmic harmony, is just I render service to Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is a beautiful thing, that this is giant universe, so big body, but we are a part of this body, and even the distant corner of this body is going to be satisfied if I am serving Krishna. And even the closest part of the body is not going to be satisfied if I am not serving Krishna. So this is a very amazing, beautiful thing. So when this harmony is disturbed, everybody is disturbed. In this pastime, when Krishna is accepting that grain, He again shows that by serving Krishna, everything happens. That in that six steps of surrender, six uh, aspects of surrender. I think this is one of the aspect that of Saranagati. That by taking shelter of Krishna, everything is done. Yes, please. Goptritya Varanam, this aspect. Thank you, Bhu. So, in this way, Bhagavatam reveals Krishna's all merciful nature. Otherwise, when we get this fear that, oh, is Krishna at all concerned about the fallen souls like us? No, he is more than concerned. In fact, it is our ignorance to feel that Krishna is not concerned. In these all incarnations, he is actually showing his compassion to all the living entities. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। जय प्रभुपाद।